Hello, everybody. So today I'm going to be doing a video on a lesson, on the lessons that I'm going to be covering on the online classes. This is if you are not available to do it, or perhaps you missed a lesson or something like that, then you can watch this video and it can help you. Please remember that a lot of this we have covered in the lockdown, but I am revisiting things because it's important that now that I can see you online or I can see you in class, that I can see if you have an understanding of what you've already done without me. So yes, and hopefully you can start sending work back so that I can assess you as well. So let's take a look-see at our topic for today, or for this week, which is biodiversity. So with this presentation and during this week, you will find out what biodiversity means and why it is important. You will explore environments rich in biodiversity. You will plan strategies to maintain biodiversity in our world as well. Okay, so biodiversity, what is it? Biodiversity comes from two words, bio, which is short for biology, which is living things, and diversity, which means a variety or many different things. So biodiversity means the mixture of all life on Earth. Okay, our whole planet is covered with biodiversity, and we ourselves are even involved in that. It includes all the species, habitats, and ecosystems, including humans, which exist on our planet. So let's take a look-see. Let's start with species. Species is a group of living things that share the same characteristics. Living things from the same species can reproduce healthy offspring. So just like you can see my beautiful little picture there, different species can reproduce or create more of themselves. Okay. Examples include human beings, blue whales, chimpanzees, beech trees, and black widow spiders. There's even more, obviously. These are just a few examples. The variety of species on Earth is huge and very diverse. Let's take a look-see at habitat. A habitat is the place where a living thing lives. It's home. A habitat supports the life of the living thing. Examples include bogs, forests, seas, hedgerows, grasslands, and rainforests. There are many, many more as well. These are just a few examples. An ecosystem. An ecosystem is a collection of living things that are different but can still exist together. These are communities for or of living things. Examples include a forest canopy, a rock pool, a river, marsh, desert, and coral reef. And there can be even more. These are just a few examples. Biodiversity is all species, habitats, and ecosystems on our planet. So all of the things I've just spoken to you about and how they work together within our planet. The mixture and balance of all living things. Beautiful, fascinating, colorful, interesting, and important. Let's look at environments. There are many types of environments in our world that support species, habitats, and ecosystems. See if you can name the environments on the following slides. Talk about the species, habitats, and ecosystems they may include and support. Right, so we're going to go through this. Here we can see there's a beautiful image. What do you think that this biodiversity, what do you think we would call this biodiversity? This is a tundra. Okay, and I know we've done this before, but here you can see a beautiful picture of what a tundra would look like. Right, think about this one. What do you think it's going to be? This is a ice cap. Okay, so here's a different type of biodiversity. Sorry, I keep stumbling over that word for some reason. Okay, here's another picture. What do you think this one will be? This is a picture of the ocean, which also is part of biodiversity. We have another picture here, and think about what maybe this could be. This is an example of a desert. Okay, as you can see, the desert here has got a bit of human life in it. If you actually look, you can see there's an effect from human beings in the desert, because some humans can live in the desert. Here we have something else, another biodiversity, and this is grasslands. And we have another one. This is called a rainforest, okay, and it obviously has a river running through it, as you can see, and it's very, very big, and it's compact with many, many species of animals, trees, as many biodiversities can be. We have another environment, or which falls under biodiversities, which is mountains. And within these mountains, you can even see in the background, you get different kinds, because here in the foreground, you can see we have grass, but in the background, we have snow and ice, okay? And this is another one, and this is forests, okay? It's a forest. And here we have another one. Can you believe that this environment, even though it has a lot of man-made structures, is still part of biodiversity? This is obviously urban, okay? And we fall often into this category of urban. So why is biodiversity important? Without biodiversity, there would be an imbalance in species, habitats, and ecosystems on the earth. And because of this, if you think about it, we really have to think about all the different things that are involved in biodiversity. So you have to have a consciousness with the effect that you have in your biodiversity and how it affects maybe other species, other habitats, other ecosystems. So sometimes we have problems, especially with human beings, where they are selfish and they destroy rainforests, for example. And with this deforestation, there's an effect on the species, the habitat, and the ecosystem, okay? So we all affect one another. Habitats must be protected so that species can live in them, and that's what I was sort of talking about now. Species must be protected so that they do not become endangered or extinct. Ecosystems must not be disrupted or they will not work together properly. We all have an effect on one another. What can we do to help biodiversity on Earth? And you're going to be getting some work that has to do with this, with problems, and you need to think of solutions, okay? So we can protect habitats, species, and ecosystems around us. We can make people aware of biodiversity and how important it is that all living things, how important it is to all living things, including human beings. We can support organizations working to protect, preserve, and conserve biodiversity in our world. So, for example, the World Wildlife Fund, I'm sure you've seen that before, or Greenpeace. There's many different things that you can contribute towards, okay? Right, so what I want you to do for me, and this is for everybody, is I want you to take a piece of paper and I want you to write down conservation and preservation. And for those two words, you're going to look for the meaning either on your computer, on an online dictionary, or a dictionary that you have at home, so you understand the definition of those two. Okay. Right, so we've come to the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for watching. And this is what I'm going to be covering in the next week with the online students and the students that are back at class. If you have any questions or need any help or anything, you can contact me with my email. Just ask anybody who's at home to help you. I'm also going to be sending a few links that link to this, that you can watch these videos, which are relevant to what I've been talking about today. Okay. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your week, and I'm going to say goodbye for now. Goodbye.